It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey there, and thank you for joining us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. This NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but these two gentlemen have always captured our interest. Say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Shaq. Tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. And we've seen the success this Grizzlies team has had over the last stretch of seasons as they're as tough as they come in the NBA. What does this team do so well, Shaq, that keeps them competitive?
They have really strong defenders at every position on the floor. They rebound very well as a team, and on defense, they help each other.
They make it extremely difficult on opposing offenses because they have four guys that they're really great players, but their best attribute is defense. How many teams can say that? Not many.
That does it for us. Kevin Harlan with the call, and we will see you later on.
Welcome, everyone, to Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the home of the Pacers, where we will be broadcasting today's action live. And so for the Grizzlies, their last game, a loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And boy, they really got humiliated at home. They got flat-out dominated in that game, guys.
And if there's one aspect of the game that really stood out for me, it was the rebounding. Basketball is about possessions, and you saw a noticeable difference in terms of the effort both teams were putting forth.
Simply got outworked under the boards, guys. I mean, that's the no-brainer of the deal. I mean, they got pushed around all game long.
A look at the opening lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Allen and Green are the wings. And it's Conley in at the point guard. Well, we know that Memphis loves to play in tight near the basket. Their bread and butter as a team, those points in the paint, they really pile those up.
And they do it as well as anybody. Led the league in points in the paint last year with over 47 a game coming from that range, which also allows them to control your transition because you're having to take the ball out of the basket. Big advantage for the Grizzlies.
Here's Gasol. The Pacers making the shot. Shot's good.
Yeah, great execution there. The turnaround, such a difficult shot to defend.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Picked by West. Watson kicks to Stuckey. Dishes it to Watson. 5 on the clock. Feeds it to Hibbert. Indiana needs to get a shot off. George, no good.
You know, to illustrate just how much the Grizzlies rely on points up close, guys, they were second in the league in percentage of shots they took being two-pointers. That's over 80% of their shots from that area.
Conley gets the bucket.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
I had a chance to catch up with Dave Yeager. He said that one of the players they're keying in on defensively is Rodney Stuckey, adding he loves to use his size and his strength to play bully ball inside and get himself to the line. We've got to be physical with him without fouling. Guys, that'll take discipline. We'll see if they can strike the right balance on defense.
Thanks, Doris.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table. And another strength for the Grizzlies, defending the paint. Ended up last season 4th in the league in terms of limiting the opponent's points at the rim.
Now here's Stuckey. He had 15 points last outing. Now here's Watson, covered by Conley. Watson's shot is off. Stolen by George. Inside. Stuckey into the lane. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson.
Not phased at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, well, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Now here's Stuckey after the Marcus Holmes. And the shot is good from Stuckey. Here's Conley. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Cleveland. He dishes it to Allen. Gasol against Hibbert. Gasol kicks to Allen. And again, Memphis no good. For Indiana, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. West up on top. Conley against George. Lock at 6. It's Watson atop the key. Indiana moving the ball over. Goes back up. He lays it in. And this game is tied up now.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition. I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
For Indiana, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. And it was great to watch C.J. Miles last season. Finally, Clark got some significant playing time.
Yeah, and took advantage of it with the Pacers having Paul George on the sidelines due to the injury until late in the season. They got a nice lift and contribution from C.J. Miles.
Now here's Green. He had 15 points last outing. And misses it off the right side of the rim. And Indiana shooting well right out of the gates here at around 50%. And the stuff by West.
And for a power forward, he can sure get up. I mean, because of that leaping ability, it kind of offsets his height disadvantage. And watching C.J. Watson last year, he showed he could take his game up a notch. Beat his career average in terms of shooting percentages across the board. Career high in rebounding, second best assist average as well. Unfortunate how he got the opportunity to play, but great that he took advantage of it.
Now here's Hibbert. Following the miss by Michael Conley. That's good. For Memphis, they've gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. Allen dishes to Conley. Beyond the arc. Good. Conley's got 7 points.
And, you know, for Watson, you could really see him doing this for several more years, guys. Finding ways to contribute as a backup or starter. Doesn't matter to him either way. He's a gamer for sure.
That is good.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done. I mean, he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up.
That jam!
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. So timeout called here, but first for Memphis.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
Pacers making a change here. Scola's checked in. The Grizzlies trail by 3. You were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clark, he helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
Here's Scola, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And for Louis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career, then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams.
And he makes the first. You were talking about Scola. He has the physical skills, Clark, to make a difference.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's not spectacular in anything, but he's really solid in just about everything. A pro's pro, and he adds value, tremendous value to any team he's on.
Mahimi's checked in for Indiana. Hill comes in for Rodney Stuckey. And so Luis Scola nails both of them.
You know, Dave Yeager, the coach for the Grizzlies, has really become a big-name coach quite quickly. You know, he's worked his way up the Memphis coaching ladder and has had a ton of success early on in his career.
Now here's Randolph. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Cleveland.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
Now here's Watson. They set the pick. Screen by Scola. For 3, Hill. That's good. Hill's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And the success we've been mentioning with Coach Dave Yeager. He was the second fastest active coach to get to 100 wins.
And Kevin made his way in terms of coaching, started in the D-League and other minor leagues before becoming an assistant with the Grizzlies, and really was the architect, if you will, of the defense that his team is so well known for. He's done a lot for this franchise and looks to be on track to become their winningest coach ever.
Here is Hill, following the basket by Marc Gasol. The drive by Hill. He kicks it to Mahimi. Just 5 on the clock. Watson, the pass to Hill. And the turnover, the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Paul George. Vince Carter, he's checked in for Memphis. Udrich comes in for Michael Conley. The Grizzlies trail by 6. To the paint. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Looking now at the numbers for Marc Gasol. Last season, he played outstanding. Averaged 17 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he was their top scorer throughout last season.
Well, his teammates knew whenever they really needed a basket, just look his way.
Now, here's Mahimi. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And there's the foul. It goes on C.J. Miles. That's his first foul. Stokes is checked in for Marc Gasol. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Here's Udrich. He's covered by Watson. Randolph a screen. Carter against Hill. Stokes kicks to Udrich. 6 to shoot. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Here's Watson. Scola drives in. Pass to Miles. He feeds it to Mahimi. From the left block. Nice jump shot. Good.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start exactly what they were hoping for.
Here's Udrich. Fires at the elbow. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Udrich has got his second basket of the game. Pacers leading by 4. Watson dishes to Mahinmi. Right side, Scola. Watson up top. Miles the pass to Mahinmi. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Here is Miles, covered by Lee. Good D by Lee.
And for a long time now, Indiana has protected the rim. It's one of the core elements of their defense and why they are so strong on D every year.
Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Hill, no good.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
There's 1:47 left to play in the first quarter. Down low, Udrich. Soft touch off the glass. Udrich has got 6. And last year for Indiana, top 3 at protecting the rim. Opponent shot under 50% right at the hoop club.
You know, that number might not sound like a lot, but being under 50% on essentially layups, that's a big deal. Protecting the rim is a huge part of winning basketball.
And so it's Memphis with it. The Pacers making the shot. Over in the corner, Lee for the 3. Rebound by Mahinmi. Pacers leading by 4. .102 left to play in the first. Scola kicks to Watson. Stolen by Randolph. Lee outside. Back to Randolph. Carter outside. Offline with his 3. Indiana's gone 1 or 2 from long range in the first quarter. Hill has the open look. The Grizzlies pull it in.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Picked by Randolph. Here's Udrich. Terrific design on the big play, and he lays it in. Udrich has got 8 points.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Kicks to Mahinmi. The jump hook and off the front iron, and in it goes. 6 points for him.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
And that does it for the first quarter. Pacers lead by 4. And we'll be back right after this. The second quarter beginning in just a moment. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
With the aggression they're showing early on, I mean, they're driving it to the hoop with authority and force.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
Here's Stuckey. And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Conley and Allen in the backcourt. Green is out there with Marc Gasol. And it's Carter in at the small forward position. The Grizzlies trail by 6.
And guys, looking at Roy Hibbert, just a mountain of a man, listed these days at about 7'2", 290 pounds, with the wingspan of a pterodactyl. I mean, a true game changer inside when he's motivated and on his game.
Well, talking about Roy Hibbert, he doesn't just have size. He has a strong lower body, too. Very hard. And you know this, Clark. You worked for the organization. You saw it firsthand. Very hard to back that guy down in the post.
Yeah, and for years he's worked on ways to complement that size with improved training and footwork, even indulging in MMA one off season. Well, I tell you what, he'd be one scary super heavyweight if he went the full distance in MMA.
Agreed. Carter hits them both. And for those younger folks who might not be familiar, go online and look at some old clips of Vince Carter. In his prime, Clark, one of the great dunkers the league has ever seen.
And for my money, the greatest game dunk in pro basketball history belongs to him. With Team USA back in 2000, jumped over a 7'2" center and punched it on it. Hard to top that.
Here's Conley following the score by Indiana. Here's Hibbert. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially when you can't afford to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now.
Miles dishes to Hibbert. It's George on the wing. It's Miles atop the key. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
And you think back to Vince Carter starting his career with the Raptors, an 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA selection, and he really introduced Canada to the NBA game. And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Stuckey kicks to Hibbert. And that one is stuffed right through.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard. Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
The feed to Miles. Down low. Hibbert kicks to Miles. 4 on the clock. Indiana moving the ball around. Gasol with the steal. Conley against Stuckey. Right side Gasol. 14 feet away. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Gasol's got 8.
And for Vince Carter, a superstar in his prime when he was with the Raptors, and his departure left some bad feelings there, no doubt. But, you know, you think back to last season, though, in Toronto, they played a video tribute which brought Vince to tears. I mean, that was nice to see the reconciliation.
Conley kicks to Allen. Baseline J on the way. Offensive rebound. Shot's good. 6 points for him.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
There's the pass to West. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Now here's Stuckey. Vince Carter missing his last shot. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Green. Now here's Conley, the fast break opportunity. Outside Gasol. Green kicks to Conley. Green, the screen. Conley, the pass to Green. And Hibbert with the block. They retain possession. 5 to shoot. Allen's shot is off. Indiana leading by 8. Up the floor. And the dunk by West.
And just a nice bucket there to really just sustain that lead.
Well, a few more possessions like that, and they'll do more than sustain the lead, Greg. I think they'll start to put this thing away by pulling away.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. And who has been a greater enigma than Roy Hibbert, a guy who can look like an all-star Clark one game and an undrafted free agent the next?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing the kind of swings Roy has had. He's been really good at times. Sometimes he gets in his own way with overthinking things, but I think he's got everything he needs to be an upper-tier center, upper echelon center. Just has lacked consistency the last year or two.
And on the topic of Hibbert, he was an enigma in college, had a very encouraging junior season, looked like a future lottery pick, and then that uninspiring senior season, which kind of dropped his draft stock considerably.
Gasol a screen. Green against West. The drive by Green. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
You know, going back to Hibbert, last season was a perfect example of what we're talking about in terms of consistency. One game he puts up 22 and 8, the next game 2 and 1. But you know, every team in the league would like to be in the Roy Hibbert game once the light finally goes on and stays on. Consistency, the challenge for Hibbert.
Stuckey against Conley. Pass to Gasol. No good. West with some nice D. Pacers leading by 8. And Miles kicks it to West. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Michael Conley picks one up.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
Free throw dropped for David West. Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring was down, his playmaking was up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart, he's tough, he's all about team, and you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways, and those assist totals indicate that. It's been a good night for David West. He has 8 points and also a block shot.
Conley into the lane to the left side wing. Here's Gasol. Not enough on that one as it misses.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Indiana again missing. The Grizzlies trail by 10. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Carter with it. Rodney Stuckey covering. Gasol a screen. And it's Carter penetrating off the screen. And the jumper falls for him. And that's now 10 points for Marc Gasol.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know, he doesn't miss too many open looks like that. How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Now here is Carter. 11 points for him in that last game against Cleveland. Gasol a screen. It's Allen with the drive. Can't get it to go. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
And in that game, guys, their three-point shooting really was their own worst enemy. Even when they got the open looks, they just had an inability to knock them down.
And guys, you've seen it happen to every team. You have to be a threat from beyond the arc nowadays, and if your team goes cold, it really can sabotage your game.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Mahimi's checked in for Hibbert. Scola comes in for David West. Solomon Hill, he's checked in for C.J. Miles. And it's Watson in for Rodney Stuckey.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Pass to Scola. It's rebounded by Memphis. Their next game, playing at home, as the Nets come into town. That game is the first and last of their homestand. The dish to Randolph. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Some solid numbers once again for Zach Randolph with Memphis last year. He just keeps plugging away, grinding out, no pun intended, chugging along and producing.
Yeah, 16 points, about 10.5 rebounds for Zebo. I mean, he's a classic power forward and always gives you the numbers even though he still plays under the rim.
Free throw good, Randolph.
And, you know, for Randolph, he's been in the league so long and still puts up double-double numbers. Averaged a double-double in 8 of his last 10 seasons. Remarkable.
Now, here's Mahimi. He has 6. Dishes to Watson. Puts up a 3. Stokes with the rebound.
And for Zach Randolph, at his experience level, to put up 15 and 10 or better, the last player to do that back in 1999, so it's a rare feat.
Pacers leading by 5. Left side, George. Uncovered. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Here's Hudrick. He's covered by Watson. Got a piece of it. Hill against Allen. Mahimi kicks to Watson. Indiana moving the ball around. And the basket by Scola.
Really good example there of some fine interior passing before that basket.
Here's Hudrick. He's got 8. Allen outside. Randolph against Scola. Another shot. The shot is off. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. Watson dishes to Mahimi. The kick out to Hill. Back to Scola. Feeds to Watson. They set the pick. 6 on the shot clock. Outside, George releases. And there are the Pacers with another bucket.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
The Grizzlies trail by 11. Now a timeout called by Memphis.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
And Stuckey led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about. But all around the reserves, Clark, were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yes, third in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench. First in the NBA in bench rebounding and top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
Randolph goes in, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Zach Randolph getting up there in his mid-30s, but his game has never been based on explosiveness. So it's all about strength, skill, and craft when you talk about Zebo, and he's aging gracefully.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
He's off on the first. And Randolph Clark can struggle in matchups against quicker power forwards or those spread fours.
Yeah, but even though he struggles on the perimeter against those guys, he punishes them when he gets them inside in his operating area at the offensive end. Most big men have a hard time dealing with him in the paint.
Very good point. Good on the second free throw.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter, but right now he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
Yeah, really a rare treat for the fans. The only time they'll get to see this matchup all season.
Inter-conference action here. 2 games in all between these 2 teams. It'll be fun to watch.
Memphis known for how tough they are at home, but they were equally tough, Clark, on the road last season.
Yeah, grit and grind travels well, Kevin. I mean, even on the road, they were able to force teams to play at their pace.
Pacers leading by 10.
And guys, consistency always a key for the Grizzlies. And when you talk of consistency, how about having the same field goal percentage, whether away or at home? Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Now, here's Watson. Screen by Scola. Inside. It's tipped. Stolen by Randolph. Udrich, the pass to Randolph. Excellent D there from George.
And you know, to be able to knock down shots on the road the same way you do at home is why the Grizzlies racked up 24 road wins. I mean, it helps when you can attack the basket as they do and work things inside close to the rim.
The Grizzlies trail by 8. Now Udrich. 8 points for him. Outside for Randolph. Memphis moving it around. 5 to shoot. Allen dishes to Udrich. Pulls up. Randolph can't get that one to fall.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Now here's Watson. And George kicks to Mahinmi. And he goes in for the dunk.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that 2-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Grizzlies shooting 31% in the second. Some poor shot selection for them in this quarter. Here's Randolph and the rejection by Mahinmi. The Grizzlies have shot 80% from the line tonight, going 4 of 5 so far.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
They've been getting more and more physical as this game has gone along.
And it's starting to pay dividends. They've gotten a lot of trips to the line because of it in this second.
He hits the second from the line. Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
Now, here is Hill. He dishes it to George. The kick out to Hill. Shot clock at 3. Shoots it. And it's George missing.
And the Grizzlies played so well against all the other playoff teams. And part of it is that they just have a style that matches up well with anyone.
Here's Udrich. He's got 8. Allen passes to Randolph. There's the bucket. Good. Randolph's got 7 points.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
You know, that's the thing with the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, there isn't a team that gives them too much trouble anywhere in the league. They're good at home and on the road. They're used to playing in tight, low-scoring games, and they create that situation with their deliberate style.
Here's Udrich, defended by George. Udrich dishes to Randolph. That's good from 17 feet away. And now it's only a 5-point Pacer lead.
Oh, the turnaround jumper. That was just beautiful.
To the inside, George. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson. Watson's got his 8th assist here tonight.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. It's the Pacers. They're up by 7. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, David, a great first half that demonstrates a lot of the evolution of this team. As a veteran of this group, can you tell us a bit about the concepts that have helped this cohesion?
You know, we've developed some good habits, creating an identity, but we've just got to continue to try to make the right play every single time, and then the game will speak for itself.
David, thank you. Guys, Coach would point directly to this guy as to what this team is all about.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. Man, there was no stopping Roy Hibbert in the first half. He had 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. He's been playing extremely well lately and making some new highlights for us already in this one. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Pacers?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, there's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on Memphis.
Can this team please get fired up on defense? I mean, get angry, get upset. Guys are way too soft and giving up way too many good looks. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand. Be like, okay, who's crossing this line? If you're coming over here, I'm taking a hard foul, and I'm going to resist you on defense.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
Some outstanding numbers in this one for Roy Hibbert. 16 points and a steal. This is something special. I mean, he hasn't missed a single shot.
It's really hard to put in words just what he's doing out on the floor.
Indiana leading by 7. West and Hibbert together down low. Stuckey and George make up the perimeter. And it's Watson in at the point guard position. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
A great way to start to have easy layup against some soft D.
Here's Conley. Roy Hibbert picking up that last basket. Gasol setting the pick for Green. Inside, deflects the pass. Pass to Watson. And here's Hibbert. And George kicks it to West. Down low. No good. Good work defensively by Gasol. The Grizzlies trail by 9. Conley with a wide open look. His three-pointers off the mark. And Indiana shooting fantastically in this game. 62% from the floor.
And guys, one thing you sometimes gets lost. I mean, Mike Conley is a proven winner. Remember, you go back in high school, won 3 state titles, and the one season at Ohio State led them to the national title game. So that aspect of what he brings, the intangibles, you're going to be a winner if Mike Conley's on your roster.
Now here is Conley, following the miss by Rodney Stuckey. Conley with it. George picks him up. They get it again, and he gets the bucket. And that's now 11 points for Zach Randolph.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Outside, George. Over to the wing. And it's Memphis on the break. Green with the ball. Here's Watson. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Now here's Green. Allen passes to Conley. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. West has got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's George. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, George has got the lead up to 11 now for the Pacers. The Grizzlies have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Now a timeout called by Memphis. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
Yeah, can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up there in the paint.
No, I'm sure he's not, Greg. I mean, their defense is showing a lot of holes, especially down low. That's unacceptable.
A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And it's Green with the jam.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Now here's Hibbert. He's got 18. Outside Conley. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That's on Rodney Stuckey. Clark, thinking back to when Mike Conley was drafted 4th back in the 2007 draft, 4th overall. He wasn't an instant star, but he has gotten better every season.
Yeah, it took him a little while. I mean, he was only a freshman coming out of college back in 2007. A slow start. He had to fight for minutes, grind away. The Grizzlies kept trying to get his replacement, it appeared, but he stayed the course, and now he's their franchise point guard.
And he sinks the second.
You know, you think back, the Grizzlies contemplated trading Mike Conley early on in his career, and I tell you what, aren't they glad that cooler heads prevailed? I mean, his rise has helped propel them to one of the top teams in the Western Conference.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Now here's Gasol. 10 points for him.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
And Mike Conley may be the best player in the NBA never to make an all-star team. I really feel like it's unfair to call him underrated now, because if you go around our league, all teams respect what he's been able to do in Memphis.
And it's good. And that's 13 points for Zach Randolph.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Watson's shot is good.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
And so here's Memphis. The Pacers making the shot. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
Boy, Gasol with a punishing pick that time.
Now here's Watson. He's tightly guarded. Here's George. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for two.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, he had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
And thinking back on George's injury, still a very graphic image in everyone's mind, but he was able to bounce back.
Yeah, it was great to see him get some game time before the end of the season after that horrific injury. A credit to him working as hard as he did, as well as to the training staff that got him back to be able to play before the end of the season.
The Pacers making a switch here. Miles is checked in. The Grizzlies also making a change. Carter's checked in. And both free throws good for Paul George.
And we all know about Paul George and his injury while with Team USA. I mean, he has still said that he would consider playing international ball.
And the wide open shot from Green. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got 6 assists in the game. Indiana leading by 7. Kicks it to George. West at the elbow. Indiana moving the ball around. Stuckey outside, puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. For George to be eager to go back and represent the U.S. in international play is a brave move.
Yeah, I think, Kevin, a lot of it might be that he just wants to put that in the past and move on, and sometimes you do that best by confronting things head on. The only way to have that be the past is to keep playing for his country.
Here's Hibbert following the score by Vince Carter. From deep, Miles, and David West gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
Hill, he's checked in for the Pacers. The Grizzlies trail by 8. Carter with it. He kicks to Conley. And there's the 3-second violation.
And a moment here to look at some of the stats for David West. Last year, getting it done. Last season, he averaged 11 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. and every team needs a good backup big to spell the starters, and that's what he brings to the table.
Well, he realizes his role. I mean, rebounding, setting screens, protecting the rim. Anything else is a bonus.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
The Pacers making a change here. Scola's checked in. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Pacers.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but I also like the balance because they're doing a great job of getting inside and converting around the rim. I really like their aggressiveness.
And that one hits back iron. Pacers leading by 11. Hill dishes to Miles. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Conley kicks to Randolph. Can they get it? And it's good on the way in. Randolph's got 6 in the quarter. For Indiana, they've gone 8 of 13 on shot attempts to begin the second half. Here's Scola, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
Here's Conley. 10 points for him. He feeds it to Carter to the wing right side. Randolph, a screen on Stuckey. Conley, the pass to Randolph. Can't capitalize on the good pick.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Hill dishes to Stuckey. Hibbert with a screen on Carter. Here's Hill. Great D that time from Green. The Grizzlies trail by 13. Right side Gasol. Looking to end his cold spell. And he sinks the layup. Gasol's got 12.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Scola drives in. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be, remove all doubt on that attack.
Here's Conley following the score by Indiana. At the elbow, Randolph off the screen. And no good as it rattles out. Pacers didn't have the year they wanted to last season. Still, their defense was right near the top. They kind of hang their head on that, don't they?
Exactly. I mean, that is what this team's culture is all about, defense. And even in a down year, they were very hard to play against for other teams.
Here's Green after Luis Scola's score. Conley kicks to Green. Gasol, a screen on Hill. And Green slams it in.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Now here's Scola. Now the feed to Hibbert. Again, Indiana.
Well, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Poked loose. Stolen by Randolph.
Get back, get back.
Stolen by Miles. Got a piece of it. Here's the break, and here they go. Here's Green. That's in there. Conley with the assist. And that's now 11 points for Jeff Green.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Stuckey against Conley. Hibbert with the screen. Stuckey kicks to Scola. Shot clock at 6. Good. Scola's got 12 points in the game.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Now here is Carter. There's a screen. Back to Green. Three-pointer. Scola with the rebound. Indiana leading by 15. Right side Hill from the wing. And again, it's Indiana.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely. 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
Here is Carter. Gasol inside. He's against Hibbert. Right side, Conley. Outside for Randolph. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Randolph's got 8 points in the quarter.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
And the Pacers call time here. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Checked in for Indiana. Watson comes in for Rodney Stuckey. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Jarnell Stokes, he's checked in for Randolph. Allen comes in for Jeff Green. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Vince Carter. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley.
And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off of back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
.115 left to play here in the third. Udrich, the pass to Lee. Right side, Gasol. Four on the shot clock. And the rejection by Mahimi. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
It's Allen with the drive. Score of the basket, his 5th of the game. He's missed 6 shots against those 5 makes.
I love the advantage he has from a speed standpoint. He does a great job of creating separation for that shot.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Screen by Scola, and the basket by Hill.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Here's Udrich. He's covered by Watson. Here's Gasol. Gasol missing again.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Pacers lead by 15. And we're coming right back after this break to get the 4th quarter underway. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. The Grizzlies trail by 15, so the Grizzlies 5 right now. At the 2 is Lee with Allen at the 3. Then it's Udrich. Then it's Marc Gasol. And it's Stokes in at the power forward. Here's Udrich. It's rebounded by Indiana. Mahimi's got 5 rebounds tonight.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
It's stolen by Allen.
They're doing well overall, but the turnovers have been the exception.
Yeah, it has been, and they've been able to overcome the carelessness to this point, but I'm sure the coaching staff wants that to get cleaned up right now.
Now, here is Hill. George dishes to Watson. Back to George. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist. Watson's got assist number 11 for him here tonight. The Grizzlies trail by 17. Here's Gasol. Makes it off the glass.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute played. Pacers shooting 65%, an outstanding offensive display from them. Here's Hill. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. They get Marc Gasol.
Well, I tell you, the Grizzlies guys were really dominant in the first half of the season last year, but after the All-Star break, barely played above 500.
And Memphis would end up going 16-13 over the back half of last season. Down the stretch, they would only go 5 up and 5 down in the final 10.
Yeah, and Kevin, all those games so important as they jockeyed for position in the West. It was so fluid and volatile down the stretch. They could have been anywhere from a 2nd seed to a 6th on any given day, and they just happened to slump at the wrong time.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Randolph has checked in. And he makes both free throws.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
Lee kicks to Gasol, shoots from the baseline, and that's good for 2.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's West, following the basket by Marc Gasol. Watson for 3. Second shot opportunity, and George finishes inside. And the Pacers lead by 17.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Here's Udrich, kicks it to Randolph, and the rejection by Mahimi. Now, here's Watson, rejected by Gasol. They retain possession. Hill left side. The three-pointer off the mark.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Randolph passes to Allen. Down goes basket number 6 for him this game. He's taken 12 shots and made half of them. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Watson kicks it to West. Indiana moving it around. West setting the pick for George. And the pass to West. Stolen by Randolph. Here's Udrich. Lee outside. Randolph a screen. Allen drives in. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, a good one here for Allen. He has 12 points, and also those active hands of his have led to a pair of steals.
He can just change a game with his defense, and he's thrown off their rhythm completely the last several possessions.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And some changes here for the Pacers. Hibbert comes in for Mahinmi. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Hill. Then for the Grizzlies, Jeff Green. He's checked in for Lee. And it's Conley in for Udrih. And Allen drops them both. Gasol with the steal. And Hibbert with the block.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And Hibbert with the block. Here's George. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
The offensive rebound. And Hibbert with the block. The shot by George, wide open. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist. And that's now 20 points here for George. The Grizzlies trail by 17. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Passes it to Randall. Tries again. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
Randolph has been superb. He's got 12 rebounds, and he's played the role of the pest today, too. I mean, he's caused a bunch of turnovers.
And it also tells you just how high his basketball IQ is. I mean, seeing plays develop before anyone else does on the court.
Pacers leading by 14. Stuckey into the lane. Some solid defense from Randolph. And for the Grizzlies, they're shooting the ball at 42%. Green kicks to Conley, pass to Gasol. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
And it's Conley penetrating. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12. Pacers have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. And that one's good, George.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Another miss by Conley.
Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball.
West with the block. And a fast break now for the Pacers. And George kicks to Stuckey. And now it's Allen. Running. He can go all the way.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
Yeah, maybe that'll give them a little bit of that swagger that they seem to have lost.
Back to Stuckey. West up on top. Over to the left wing. Watson dishes to Hibbert. Feeds to George. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Yeah, but for a guy that shoots it as well as he does, I'd say that is an easy look.
And it's Green missing. Pacers leading by 12. And George, here we go. Here's Watson. The shot's good on the assist by George.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
Now here's Randolph. There's the dish to Allen. Here's Green. The shot will not go. Great D that time from Hibbert. Indiana's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Watson, the pass to Hibbert. And so the ball out of bounds. Hibbert touched it last.
Grizzlies ball.
Here is Conley. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And he gets it to go. 18 points for Allen.
Great move to the hoop on that one there. He didn't let his height disadvantage dictate that matchup.
The Pacers have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth and even 50%.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Some changes for Indiana. Andrew Bynum's checked in for Hibbert. And Turner's subbed in for West. The Grizzlies trail by 12. Ball's knocked loose. And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession.
Grizzlies ball.
So it's the Grizzlies now. That's tipped. It's stolen by Watson. Right side, George. And he jams it with authority.
Pushes it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they're not backing off at all, are they?
The Grizzlies shooting for the game at 42%. Picked by Randolph. They double team Conley. Gasol with it. Now Bynum defending. Pacers leading by 14. Stolen by Michael Conley. Allen drives in. Bynum with the block. Now the Pacers moving it up. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
George having a fantastic game. He's got 24 points and the 2 nice steals as well. He's been tough on the inside and displayed great vision with his passing too.
And you know what? He is the total package today, giving them a little bit of everything. And it seems every season we see a player try and play through an injury. Sometimes it provides a boost with heroics, but it can lead to serious damage long term. It's a common practice we see, and some guys are pretty cavalier about it.
And he's good on the second. Greg, a lot of NBA players do play through injury. Last year, for instance, LaMarcus Aldridge played most of the regular season with a thumb injury that required surgery. Mike Conley, Clark Kellogg, we saw in the postseason play with the mask with a facial fracture.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a blanket statement if it's good or bad for guys to do that. You just hope the player heeds the doctor's advice and doesn't do any further damage by playing it.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court.
And the Grizzlies with possession here. The Pacers making the shot. Gasol drives in. Here's Allen. It's tipped. Here's Watson. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Here's George. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got 6 rebounds now in the game. The Grizzlies trail by 19. Dishes to Gasol. Outside Conley. Pass to Randall. Shot to stop the run. Misses off the right iron.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Stolen by Michael Conley. Outside Green. He dishes it to Randolph. Randolph missing again. Indiana leading by 19. Inside, Bynum, and he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future.
There are markets in the U.S. that want an NBA team. Seattle, which has been a great NBA friend, has been trying to get a team back since the Sonics left for Oklahoma City.
Clearly, Seattle's the lead name domestically. The NBA has also talked about adding a European division. A lot of different options for expansion. I don't think any will be acted on anytime soon, though.
Hibbert's checked in for the Pacers. West comes in for Turner. Now here's Conley. He's covered by Watson. Conley kicks to Randolph. Kicks it out to Allen. They need this one. And Hibbert with the block. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Clock is at 3. Allen for 3. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got 3 assists in the game.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Now, here's Watson. Cannot hit. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one on George.
You look at what Gasol has done so far. He's got 16 points, and all the steals he's collected only add to his impressive stat line.
Whether he's picking someone's pocket or picking off a pass, he has been a disruptive force out on the floor.
And we know the Marc Gasol was one of the most sought-after free agents this past summer. Clark, all along, most figured he'd be back in Memphis.
Yep, a winning team, max dollars. And don't forget now, he went to high school in Memphis while his brother Powell played there. He's where he belongs.
Marc Gasol, a first-time All-Star starter last season. He and his brother Powell both starting in that game. The first time that's ever happened in league history, and having both those guys go head-to-head.
And the second free throw, good.
Oh, listen, no doubt you could argue Marc Gasol is the best center in the league right now. I mean, this guy does it all. Defends, rebounds, passes, scores. I mean, he's also a great teammate. They all love him. And to me, that matters in the big picture, when you're talking about developing chemistry and trust, sometimes the difference between winning and winning it all is whether or not your teammates like you.
Now, here's Watson. Here's West. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Pacers.
And Clark, their hard work on the glass paid off.
You know, they both are excellent rebounding teams. I thought it was a tough battle underneath both ways.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
Sometimes, guys, it's hard during the first meeting of a season to get a feel for a team, but these guys came out and made the necessary adjustments, and I think they've got to feel good about going up 1-0 in the season series against the Grizzlies.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Hibbert. You can set a tone with defense, and that's exactly what he did with how he protected the rim.
Here's Allen. Paul George making his last shot. And another miss by Memphis. There's 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Hibbert. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Well, David West's usage and overall numbers have ticked away with time. He's still as efficient as ever.
Yeah, not the over 50% field goal guy he used to be, but still a valuable contributor on the block.
And for West, a lot of what he brings to the table is just professionalism, leadership, and a real example of how to get the most out of what you've got. He keeps everybody on the team focused, too. When he speaks, guys listen.
Indiana making some changes. Solomon Hill comes in for George, and it's C.J. Miles in for Rodney Stuckey. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Jarnell Stokes, he's checked in for Gasol. Carter comes in for Jeff Green. Jordan Adams, he's checked in for Allen. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. And both free throws good for Roy Hibbert.
West, guys, still very strong as a player, but clearly it's his leadership that sets him apart. Does all those little intangibles that help teams win games.
Here's Udrich. Kick out to Adams. Wide open look. And he hits the jump shot.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
30 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Kicks to Hibbert. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Terrific run to seal the deal.
Yeah, and now let's just keep an eye on how much longer they keep the foot on the accelerator.
Udrich. Kick out to Adams. Out of bounds. Indiana takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
It's Hill on the wing. Outside, George to the paint. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking in every way. I mean, all cylinders go. No question about that. And once they pulled away, they didn't let up.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Guys, Paul George standing by with me here. And Paul, first, congratulations on the win. What's the attitude you have as a team right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Paul, thank you so much. Guys, over to you.
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Roy Hibbert. He led the way tonight with a double-double and was a major reason why they won tonight. His effort and intensity gave them the boost they needed. Let's get your opinion, Kenny.
He flat out dominated. I mean, you see the kind of plays he was making all over the court. This is the game, no matter who they put on him, he wasn't going to be denied. His offensive power was in full effect.
Well, his ability to get into the paint, get to the rim was deadly. For a guy who's mainly a perimeter shooter, it was remarkable how many of his points came right at the bucket.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.